Don't work hard, work smart. Well, before you work smart, it's hard. You need to learn to do the hard things so you could start strategizing. This is my forte. Let me get somebody else to handle this part. It doesn't start like you're the intelligence master and everything you do is smart. You got to learn to grind and put in the work. And anybody you've interviewed on The Hard Way, they all have gone through tough times to achieve what they want.
Welcome to the Hard Way podcast with Joe DeSena, founder and CEO of Spartan Races. We're teaching you how to overcome your obstacles in your life the same way we teach our 10 million plus Spartans to overcome obstacles on the course, with insight from the smartest, most accomplished experts from every corner of the world. Get ready to elevate your life today. Classic Fit Aid, new summer edition flavor. Hawaiian Nectar is a summer vacation for your taste buds with each sip. Take a one-way ticket to Recovery Town with this limited edition flavor. Certified non-GMO tested, vegan, paleo-friendly, certified gluten-free, kosher, and never contains any artificial flavors or sweeteners. The Fit Aid Recovery Blend features glutamine, glucosamine, turmeric, BCAAs, omega-3s, CoQ10, full B complex, and electrolytes. Perfect for after the race, gym, hiking, or biking. Visit lifeaidbevco.com and enter code Spartan20 at checkout to get 20% off. Fit Aid Hawaiian Nectar plus free shipping. Fit Aid, an official partner of the Spartan Race Series.
Joe DeSena here, CEO and founder of Spartan and the Hard Way podcast. We rebranded the podcast. Before we rebranded it, in the very beginning, actually, the guy that's on, he helped me start the first podcast, Spartan Up. Here now on the Hard Way. If I had my choice, I would only have him on the podcast. He'd be my only guest. We would just talk all day, every day, because we're so in sync. Zach Evanash, if you don't know him, you've been living under a rock. I've been all over the world at wrestling tournaments, Spartan races. People will come up to me and say, "Hey, you're Zach Evanash's friend." I said, "No, I'm Joe DeSena."
Oh, man.
All that.
It is, well, this is our excuse. This is our excuse to get together and talk life and being passionate. And before we recorded, you and I just did like a, I don't know what they call it, like you could partner with somebody on an Instagram post. So we partnered on this Mona Lisa post, and I thought people were going to, burn the building down on us. It was for every one happy person, there was 5 angry people. And I think they just need to do more burpees and they wouldn't be so angry.
It's you don't know this, but after we posted Mona Lisa, well, first let's get into it. It started a few days earlier where I posted something about Barbie and Oppenheimer. And a lot of people don't know this, but years ago, the neighborhood I come from in Queens, a lot of organized crime. And one of the bosses said to me one day, "You got to go get a bunch of Barbie dolls." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, they're only selling one per customer. It's a 25th anniversary brunette. They're going to be worth a lot of money someday." And when the boss speaks, you listen, right? So myself, the guys that worked for me in my construction and pool business, we went around and we collected Barbie dolls. I got hundreds of them. My wife thinks I'm nuts. My daughters think I'm nuts, but I got all these Barbie dolls. So anyway, when Barbie, by the way, I also know the CEO of Mattel.
Oh, wow.
And I told him the story, and that story made its way through Mattel about how a mob boss convinced the Spartan owner to buy Barbie dolls. So when the movie was coming out with Oppenheimer, I said, "Oh, we gotta run with this post." We did a post, and that started to upset some people because maybe we didn't handle the post right. And there's sensitivities, right? And you and I don't really understand them all. We're probably less sensitive, you and I. They might say, and I hate to throw you in there with me, you could say just you, Joe.
I was just going to say, people are too easily offended. It seems like people are looking for a reason to be offended. Like people are upset that Elon Musk changed the brand Twitter to X. And I heard you were on Brad Lee's podcast, and Brad Lee put it this way. He said, "You know why you're upset?" He goes, "Because you're not building anything of your own. So you're busy worrying about what other people are doing." He's like, "Why don't you just build something of your own, and then you don't have to worry about other people and, what's their problem." So that's the thing, is when you're not busy, you find a way to get busy being offended for no reason. We don't have time to get offended.
Well, it's funny you say that. And we're not, if you're listening to this, you're watching this, we're not taking shots at anybody, because even Zach and I and the hardiest people in the world, they have moments of weakness, right?
Yeah.
But what I've learned, and I think what Zach has learned, is exactly what he just said, which is if you're busy and you're getting after it, you don't have time for the nonsense. It's very hard to be depressed. It's very hard to get upset. Like, you're just grinding every day and trying to get through your day. In the 2009 financial crisis, my best friend sat next to Larry Summers, who was the Treasury Secretary. And there was a lot of buzz going on around the internet. And, oh my God, this is a scheme. They're trying to get rid of the dollar. It's going to be all Bitcoin, like all this nonsense, right? And I reached out to my friend who sat next to the Treasury Secretary. I said, what do you think about these conspiracy theories? He said, Joe, I sit next to the guy. He's just trying to survive every day. He's like, this is a hard job.
Yeah.
Well, and so I guess give people the benefit of the doubt, put your head down, and just get the job done every day.
And be a producer, meaning if...
Be a producer, not a complainer.
Yeah. Do something that lifts other people up. And I'm not even saying, build a business, start something, but what can you do? And maybe that's a little bit selfish. What can you do to lift others up? Because then you are going to feel better about it. Meaning, like, I don't play the lottery, but my wife will go, she'll buy the ticket. And, I have a wrestler's attitude. I'm always like, I don't want that money. I want to earn my money, I tell her. So she thinks that's like not a great attitude. But I say to people, if I win the lottery, you win the lottery, I tell Danielle, I'm still my gym will be free. I'll probably be there twice a week training people, and I'll still pull up to the high school and train people. And if I'm not going there, I'll be like, okay, meet me at the park this day of the week. We're going to do body weight training together. We're going to lift stones. We're going to sprint, and we're going to push Joe's truck. I still want to be part of that. And so when you're giving and doing, you start to build momentum in a positive way. Momentum could also build in a negative way. Negative points. I mean, it could happen in sports. It's very much like in wrestling. Wrestling, you have 6 minutes, 7 minutes in college. If somebody scores on you, you don't have time to be upset over it. You must rebound in a millisecond so you can get back into it. And that's a mindset. And that's also, I think, like a muscle. You have to exercise it. I wasn't always like that. If something bad or wrong happened to me or I didn't achieve what I wanted, I used to really go like down, down, down. But then I learned, like, it's in your mind. You got to rebound. You got to, it's like Jocko Willink's. You ever see the video Good?
Yeah.
That video, I sent it to an athlete I'm working with who tore his shoulder during a football practice. And I know he's in the dumps, but I sent him that Good video because we could still work the other arm. We could still work legs. We could, get smarter with training. Maybe you could dial in your nutrition a little more. You could study film. So I've been there when you're injured. It hurts emotionally, but I wanted to help him rebound quickly. So I utilized Jocko's Good video.
For years, we've been saying in our community, I get a lot of people sending me notes in the morning, say, I hope you have a shitty day. And that's really a message for, like, that's a good thing. That means you have to fight hard all day to get through to the other side. If it was easy and you got to just sit all day eating popcorn, watching Netflix, that's not a good day.
Well,
it's not a good day.
No, you don't feel anything. This reminds me, a couple of years back before COVID, you were doing a lot of podcasts. So I was doing Spartan Way, and I would always come with like a book or a video I watched. Well, today I was listening to I was watching Ty Lopez's Instagram, and he'll like show a clip from a video. And there was this one kid, somebody goes around like interviewing people, what's your biggest regret? What do you do for work? So he asked this one young kid, looked like to be in his 20s, hey, what do you do for work? And this young kid says, he laughs. He's like, I don't really do anything. I just go around and spend money, and my parents give me money. And the guy says, oh, how much money do they give you? He's like, every month, like $20,000. He's like, whoa, that's a lot of money. How much is in your bank account? And the kid is laughing as he answers. He's like, nothing. And then Ty Lopez follows that video and says, studies have shown that the people who are depressed don't struggle. They don't do hard things. They don't earn anything. So you could give them more money and more wealth, but they're not struggling. So there's no happiness to it. And that's why, maybe as a wrestler, I'm like trained in that different way, but I want to earn everything. And sometimes that offends people. Like I texted you last week, Frank Popolizio gave me beef and eggs from his farm. And I was like, no, I can't take it. Let me pay you. He's like, listen, it's offensive. I'm giving it to you. You can't pay me. And I realized like some people want to gift me things. You have to say yes, but hard things makes you happy. That's why I exercise in the morning. If I don't exercise in the morning, I'm not the most like pleasant I'm nice, but I'm nicer if I've exercised hard in the morning.
If you're listening or you're watching and that's not making sense to you because it's not intuitive that if somebody gives you $20,000 a month, you wouldn't be happy. Let's look at the example of the dog. We've got a dog at Zach's house and we've got a dog at somebody else's house. And the one at somebody else's house every day gets fed unlimited amounts of food, doesn't have to do anything, just lays around the house every day. That dog's not happy. The dog at Zach's house is going to go fight and find the chicken and kill it and rip the feathers off it to eat. And it's in the rain and the mud and it's fit. That dog's happy. That dog's got purpose every day. It's got to survive.
Purpose.
Right?
Yeah, you need deeper purpose. When you spoke about, I hope you have a shitty day, I held a conference, I think it was 2010, 2011, and the Ultimate Warrior spoke at the conference. So this is obviously, he passed away, I think like 2015, something like that, but he spoke at the conference and he said, and this will offend people, but it's important that we share it. He's like, some of you pray and you pray to whoever your God is and you ask, give me, I pray for this, pray for that. And then he shared the Bruce Lee quote. He's like, stop praying for easy. He's like, pray for the toughest mother effing challenges because that will make you stronger. And he was so passionate about doing intense, challenging things that it was very difficult for him emotionally to try to help people because he wanted to help them, but the struggle for him was he wanted them to help themselves. So he was torn because he felt the way to help them was to challenge them through hard physical things. And, even though he was a big bodybuilder and a pro wrestler, you guys are very much the same. You're passionate. You want to challenge yourself. So as much as people think that maybe by appearance we're different, people who love to do hard things are in better moods. So some of the comments on that Mona Lisa post, one lady posted saying, Joe, don't worry about all these comments. These are like lazy, entitled people. And maybe they weren't lazy and maybe they're not entitled, but I felt that vibe. But from her, the vibe I got was she does hard shit. And she's like, Joe, so what? You're trying to get us off the couch. Thank you. But everybody was mad that we're just finding an angle. There's many ways to inspire people. There's not just one way. And guess what? Sometimes it's not nice. Sometimes we have to tell people and do what I call like give them a good old throat punch.
I don't know, no doubt about it. There's you and I may have talked about it in the past. There's a Spartan prayer.
Yes.
Comes from that French power trooper they found dead on the ground in World War II. And they found a prayer in his pocket and they opened it up. It basically said, God, everybody's asking you for the good stuff. Everybody wants to be with their family. They want a good meal. They want a shower. They want a warm bed. You probably don't have any of that left. Give me all the leftovers, the shit, the turmoil, the tough, the rain.
I love it.
Hail. And just give me the strength to deal with it. I mean, that is a powerful prayer, right? Give the good stuff to everybody else. I'll take the bad.
I love it. And I fear, look, I don't think I'm so tough or so fit or above anybody, but I like feeling strong. And so I fear losing any edge that I have. And so things that I do and that you do, we're not saying people have to copy it. A challenge for somebody else might be no soda, drinking water. Okay, you're into a 30 days water only. That you're not going to drink Pepsi, Coke, whatever the brands are, water. No coffee, 30 days. And everybody could have their own level of a challenge. Okay, you can't do push-ups. Okay, but I bet you could probably hold the top of a push-up for 3 seconds. Tomorrow you'll do 4. The next day you'll do 5. By the end of the month, you might think it's just going to be 30 seconds, but you'll probably go for 3 minutes because you'll start realizing I can do more. So every day, can we get 1% better? You can. And it's not only in the physical. I try to get better at a lot of stuff. And I'm not always great at it. Like today, or this week, I am coaching football. We're preparing for football season. I ripped into the kids today, maybe a little too much. Okay. And then what am I going to do later? I'll read some leadership books. I'm going to get better tomorrow. I'll communicate with them better. I'll find a way to inspire them, or I'll get other leaders to do it. And so not every day is victory, but if we're trying our best, I believe that does put up, my buddy Mark Smellybell, he says, put up points on the scoreboard of life. Can we do that? Yes. You just got to do something better than yesterday. You got to try.
By the way, it is so easy. You just have to do it, right? You wake up. We all wake up. We don't feel like getting up.
Yeah.
Feel like doing the hard work. You just put one foot in front of the other. Before you know it, you've had a really productive
momentum.
Get it done. So easy because 99% of the people don't do it.
It's weird. I think here's what happened. Right here. The phone. There's my kids. Remember at Death Race, I gave a speech while they were in the water. I told them, some of you are want to quit. And I told them, look, I don't want to do the Death Race, but you signed up for it. So you're probably trying to silence some inner noise, some pain. So I said, I want you to think about who's on your phone, who's on your screensaver. It might be a significant other, a family member. It might even be a dog, a pet. I said, I want you to think of that person. Take the focus off yourself and think about the story you're going to tell them when you come home. Are you going to tell them that you quit, or are you going to tell them that you found strength so you have something to inspire them with? So, but anyway, to the phone, once the phone came out, Joe, the phone created convenience and speed, and then apps were created. I don't need to go to the restaurant. They'll come to me. I'll touch a couple buttons. I don't need to read the book. I don't need to. When we were kids, if we wanted to learn what our favorite athlete did, we had to wait for next month's magazine to come out. The mountain biking magazine, the running magazine, the bodybuilding magazine. Now, I'll just go on Instagram and see what my favorite athlete is eating. So it's so easy that it's like a fleeting inspiration. There's no imagination. And so the phone created ease and convenience. And ease and convenience don't really boost strength. They don't boost your excellence. They make you lazy. And now you're like, I'm looking for all the shortcuts. And you and I actually did a post a while back about smart people saying, don't work hard, work smart. Well, before you work smart, it's hard. You need to learn to do the hard things so you could start strategizing. All right, this is my forte. Let me get somebody else to handle this part. It doesn't start like you're the intelligence master and everything you do is smart. You got to learn to grind and put in the work. And anybody you've interviewed on Spartan Up, which is now the hard way, they all have gone through tough times to achieve what they want. Anything that was easy, I don't think anybody has this great success story that was easy. It just doesn't happen.
Classic Fit Aid, new summer edition flavor. Hawaiian Nectar is a summer vacation for your taste buds with each sip. Take a one-way ticket to Recovery Town with this limited edition flavor. Certified non-GMO tested, vegan, paleo-friendly, certified gluten-free, kosher, and never contains any artificial flavors or sweeteners. The Fit Aid Recovery Blend features glutamine, glucosamine, turmeric, BCAAs, omega-3s, CoQ10, full B complex, and electrolytes. Perfect for after the race, gym, hiking, or biking. Visit lifeaidbevco.com and enter code Spartan20 at checkout to get 20% off. Fit Aid Hawaiian Nectar plus free shipping. Fit Aid, an official partner of the Spartan Race Series.
Nothing great happens through ease. I'm listening to it and I'm just thinking, how do we wake up? Well, phones have infiltrated, like you said, even my own family. How do we wake up the world at this point? Not that I want to give up. I don't know how you turn that around unless the technology companies came together and said, look, we're going to shut phones off unless you speak Mandarin into it, or unless you do 30 burpees,
Great.
unless you answer 5 math problems.
Amazing.
Solve a chess challenge. And then it turns off again. And then you got to do something else. Like, unless that happens, this thing is not only causing all the problems you talked about, but like you're getting all these dopamine hits nonstop, which makes it incredibly addictive. Like,
Yeah.
it's a disaster.
And it's, as I was speaking with John, your producer here, is, we are in the attention economy. And so I'm not like too big on checking my stats on all the videos and all this. But when you have like a business account on social, you look, and let's say you post videos that are 60 seconds, 90 seconds. Predominantly, the videos have like a 7 to like 10-second view. People are scrolling. And so, you and I met when you wrote your first book, okay? Spartan Up. And when you read a book, in my opinion, it makes you more creative because you start to imagine as you're reading. It's like there's some sort of a deeper connection than the phone, especially because I'm going to see the next thing and the next thing. And so my brain is kind of scattered. And so I wrote my recent book and everybody was like, are you going to put it on Kindle and this? I was like, I'm starting with the hard copy first. And the message in the book is really about effort and work ethic, because when I was young and going to these different gyms, bodybuilding gyms, the YMCA, no mentor would give me any attention unless I was there for like 3 months minimum and working hard. They wanted to see if you were worthy. And so I like how you're saying like the phone has to now see if we're worthy. Like, I'm trying to call Joe. Did you do 30 burpees? There's got to be. I mean, this would be such an amazing challenge to whoever, Verizon, Sprint, I don't know, all these phone companies. Like, what do we do? And I think also like another country did this with the bus, the train or the bus, like to get your ticket. If you did 30 squats, your fare was free. Did you see, where was that?
Russia.
Japan?
Russia put that in place.
Did Russia do it?
Russia did it, yeah.
Oh, check this out. So you and I always talk about, remember the guys that worked for you when you moved to Vermont? Where were they from? Poland?
Slovakia.
So we just went to a tennis tournament, and we were in the Boston area, and my daughter played against a girl from Ukraine, then with a girl from Russia. There was, I heard a boy was from Spain, another boy from France. Now, looking at the tennis rosters of college teams, and they could be like 2/3 to 75% international kids. So I say to my friend, like, why so many international kids? He's like, well, I think they're cheaper to scholar. There's got to be some sort of money coming in. And then I was like, oh, what about when I spoke with Joe about how they will not quit? So the summer before, last summer, a year ago, my daughter was in Georgia for tennis, a year ago exactly. She goes to a tiebreaker. It's got to be 100 degrees on the court, maybe more, because it's like 90, upper 90s. They go into a tiebreaker. Before the tiebreaker, the girl goes to take a bathroom break. She comes back. The tiebreaker, she's exhausted. She's got a towel over her head. I'm like, I think she's going to like quit. I think she's going to give up Then the athletic trainer comes out. The father is flagging her, using the towel to fan her down. I'm like, I think the athletic trainer is going to force her to medically forfeit. She continues. I'm like, my God, this girl will not quit. They go into overtime. My daughter beats her. It's like 9-7. And I was like, I can't believe this girl would not quit. Then later I hear her talking with her mom. They're speaking another language. I said, she's not even from America. She's fighting for milk. She would not. I thought she was going to pass out. She was ready to die on that tennis court.
Isn't that funny? That was your daughter, who obviously you were rooting for from every cell in your body.
Yes.
But you also we respect people that just won't quit. They get it done.
I'm still inspired.
Right?
I have goosebumps speaking about it because as a coach myself, I saw like what could happen medically. I've seen kids collapse at this. So the tournament was a year and like 2 weeks ago because we were in Georgia 2 weeks ago. I saw a kid at this tournament. His legs were cramping. I got 2 ice bags. I put them on his thighs. There was a father there who had like the those like sodium that you could put in the water. The kid was eating bananas. And I'm like, I don't know if this kid could play. Like, you're probably done for the day. I know my daughter played 8 hours of tennis that day, heat in the upper 90s. 30 minutes later, this kid's out playing tennis. He couldn't walk his leg. We couldn't bend his legs. I was like, man, these kids, some kids, tough. Quitting was not like in his vocabulary at all. It was almost like so what? That was 30 minutes ago. And he's out there playing in doubles, but still, you got to sprint, you got to run. His legs were locked up. And so to me, there's this beauty in that. It's so admirable because now my hope is that when people have that, you can apply it to your relationships, to your career, to your parenting. Because, my mother-in-law says stuff to me. She's like, you must be exhausted. I go, Nana, nobody cares if I'm tired, and I don't care if I'm tired. And my kids don't need to know that I'm tired. So what? Seriously, if I'm tired, what does that mean? I get to do nothing? I get a break as a dad? It doesn't matter. Yesterday I woke up at 3 a.m. because of my dog. Okay? Normally I wake up at 5. 3 a.m. I'm up. So I was feeling tired by like 8 o'clock. But my daughter was at work. My wife at 9 o'clock is like, I'm going to bed. I'm like, I guess I'm picking up Summer. And she's like, tell your dad, tell my mom. I'm like, no. I'm the father. I have to pick her up. I'm not going to show her that I'm too tired. Where did that come from? Did I suddenly build the tough muscle? No. I used to really break down as a wrestler, as a kid. I had to learn. I had to break down and rebuild. Break down, rebuild. There's a guy that wrote a book. I think it's called Entrepreneurial Genius, Dr. Gene Landrum. Dr. Gene Landrum created that kids place, Chuck E. Cheese. You heard of Chuck E. Cheese, right? And he wrote this book and he kind of like broke down all of these personality traits of successful people. And he said, all of them, before they had a breakthrough, they had a breakdown. So what is he saying? You're not going to break through if you're doing the easy shit. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's universally impossible. Easy, you get to win. That's a 1 in a million. Yes, there's always outliers. Don't compare yourself to outliers. That's a 1 in a gazillion. Most people got to do the tough shit to build, to come out better.
And not down. So do the hard work. Let's recap this. Do the hard work. Have a positive attitude. Stop complaining. Deal with the breakthrough. Pray for the bad stuff. Don't complain that you're tired. Nobody cares. Right?
Start your day with something physical. That is your gift to yourself. Give me 30 seconds of squats. Hold the push-up for 30 seconds, okay? If you don't want to do burpees right out of bed, your body's too stiff, give me 30 seconds of jumping jacks. I'm going to tell you why 30 seconds. Because it's like we say, if I say brush the right side of your teeth, you're going to not just stop there. You're going to go to the middle, then the other side, then you're brushing. you'll do something else. Momentum can be positive or it could be negative. So start the day with something hard. Let's do a little borrowing from an old Spartan up. One of my favorite guys, Barry Hearn. You said, what? You said, Barry, what should, and Barry, when you interviewed him, is in his early 70s, big business. I think the business is online sports betting, either world's largest sport betting.
Yeah, I think it was called
Matchbook, or maybe the largest in the UK. But he said, he really went for a throat. You're like, what do we tell people if they're struggling with motivation? He said, I think they should go into that corner and crawl up and die. Now that's going for the throat, right? Don't do that. Do something, put up points on the scoreboard of life. Do 30 seconds of something challenging. And you know what challenging might be? It might mean go take the garbage outside and then run back in. That's your challenge. Don't tell somebody else to do it. Go do it, okay? I think anybody can grow, no matter the age. You can get stronger. You can get better. You could achieve more success. And nobody has to know. Don't worry about if anybody else pats you on the back. Do it for you, because when you're better, you make everybody around you better. You could be a better dad, a better husband, a better mom. You'll give us better comments on the Instagram. You won't complain. So start with the physical chat. What's going to be your morning? What did you do this morning, Joe? What was your morning?
I go into 3-year, very dedicated routine. So as long as you know me, I did 3 years carrying a kettlebell everywhere I went. You know that story. I did 3 years where I did 300 burpees every single morning, anywhere in the world, airports, hotels, didn't matter.
You did them here with me.
Right? With my
at the wrestling club.
And now I'm about a year and a half in I go into the gym, the wrestling room. I run 2 miles to the gym, a big loop. I do a 2-mile run. I do 300 calories on the Titan fitness bike, the air bike. Takes 20 minutes if I'm hustling, 30 minutes if I'm not. And then I knock out 10 rounds of pull-ups and push-ups. So 2-mile run, 300 calories on the bike, 10 rounds pull-ups and push-ups every day, about a year and a half in.
Listen, Spartans, listen up. What I tell people is push-ups are so expensive, they're free. All you need is the ground. Using your own body weight is the ultimate. And we need more people doing it, and we need parents doing it with their kids. I coach at a high school. I'm seeing 200 plus kids a day. 75% of incoming freshmen cannot do one push-up, and they want to play football and soccer. I tell them, how are you going to get off the ground if you can't do a push-up? So Spartan parents, start doing push-ups with your kids as soon as the baby is crawling.
I couldn't agree more. How do people find you?
Strong Life Podcast. I want to show the new book if they're into strength training.
The Iron.
See that?
Iron
Journey is very inspiring. The book is really geared towards, I'd say, like teenage boys, men, although some women who are into strength training have read it. And it's all stories of overcoming obstacles and being mentored. But everything centers around work ethic. And the harder the kid worked, the more he gained respect of others. But most important, gained self-respect. Strong Life Podcast, go back and listen and watch The Spartan Way. It's on your YouTube. So those are short. We would do like a 2 to 5 minute mini podcast, very actionable. You know what people could do with the Spartan Way episodes is watch them and do an exercise while listening to them. So 10 squats, 10 push-ups, or 10 burpees, 10 lunges. You got dumbbells, do a curl and press, do seesaw. There's a lot of things to do. Get better. And then here's my challenge to them, Joe. Bring somebody with you. Get somebody to do it with you, even if it's virtually.
Do the work, eat more salad, push more iron, as my buddy Zach likes to say. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Zach. Love you.